Okay. Um, First of all, I just want to thank God. You know, I try to pray every once in a while, but I decided that when I make these videos, first I just want to thank God. I do. Not to say that I'm perfect, but I saw or I experienced what bottom feederness can be. I'm not saying that my life is perfect and it's gonna be rough. I understand that it's gonna be tough, but I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful because as I'm speaking right now, I'm hearing a perp trying to do what she's supposed to do. As a target individual, I'm in this program that is experimenting on us, and right now, they're trying to make me feel vilified for something that has nothing to do with me. But it's just the sadness of this person talking to me is that she knows that I know. Matter of fact, she thinks that her speaking this way is gonna counter what I just heard about what she's part of, and so um, it's just I'm just thankful that in my life I didn't have to do that. Um, and in my life, I didn't have to get myself to this low. And they try to kind of compensate by make it look like this fierce. It's nothing fierce about what these people are. It's cowardness at its highest, and it's just weakness at its highest. Um, and they're not at war. We are just human subjects, and basically, it's like we're guinea pigs to this program, and they do all these kind of things to us. Like I said, I'm far from perfect, but please, thank you, God, for not making me having to live the life that these people live and having to make myself this stupid. Um, Thank you. I gotta say that. Um, and I'm asking God also to give me strength for what I'm gonna go through, because, like I said, the psyop, the way they wanted to create this facade was this like group of fierce rogue feminists that are trying to avenge and protect and do this, and I've been, they need to make me pay for all the things I've done, and this is what they're part of. And obviously it's the facade of what they try to present, because people who claim to be doing what they do would definitely look at themselves or look at this program as, it is not even words to describe the testimonies of what this woman talk about. It seems like it's like third world country, like war crimes, but used with remote technology, like used with extreme like sophisticated technology. Is just foul. And then to hear this trash like, oh no, you're gonna pay for that. This is that and that. And you like listen to this woman who can't even use the restroom because she's being sexually assaulted every day, even rectally. And you hear this trash who's like, oh, you're gonna pay for that. It's like, oh my goodness. It's like they're in a program where they have so much blood of women from the torture, the death, the suicide that were caused from women being tortured to suicide. And they're like, oh, like it's just like you disgusting trash. Thank you, God, I didn't have to live my life doing these things. It's so disturbing. And right now, they try to make me, and I'm sorry if I'm gonna be a little bit graphic, but I think it's I'd rather be transparent and honest, because I'm not ever gonna pretend I'm perfect, never. But um, they try to vilify me because I was watching some adult content, and in this adult content, it was like behind the scene and something like somebody was talking about something, and I'm just watching this. I think this is perhaps my first time I see that specific one, and she says something, and like you see, and like what, like this has nothing to do with me. I don't know, like I don't. This is, but they just leave off like non-reality things. It's like fictional, and they try to sell this off because it's their job. They have to create this gimmick for me to be subscriptive of the manipulations. They need to do this facade, and they have to be repetitively maintaining this psyop. And so that's what they're gonna do. Um, but it's nasty. You know, this technology that is implemented onto us target visual when we're target visual with like V2K and synthetic telepathy. This technology, what they can have us think, perceive, memories, manipulations, all of this, you're no longer yourself. And that person was right that talked to me when that started. She told me that you should kill yourself. We have your brain. You're no longer going to be yourself. And she was right in a sense that that day she was telling me, she was letting me know that you're no longer you. We have your brain. Meaning that we're going to do whatever we want you to do. Sorry, we're going to make you experience whatever we want you to experience. Make you dream whatever ways we're going to. All of these things that we can do, we'll do it. We're going to manipulate you. I mean, in a disturbing ways. If I was manipulated before that day, it was not something that was just like maybe I had like a thought that just maybe I believed that it, but I sensing since August 19, 2019, when this person told me, kill yourself because we have your brain. She meant that at that point, I will not be myself. And from that point on, everything I experienced was just nasty. I will get stimulation and sensations and memories and dreams and all non-stop. And even that, they're trying to counter to something else. They just gave me Kim. And so it was that. And so now they even try to manipulate memories of all sorts. And I made it clear that I understand what I'm experiencing is the V2K and synthetic telepathy, meaning they have control of how I experience things. I remember when that started, this guy looked at me, he's like, yeah, I couldn't live this way. I couldn't. And I now understand what he meant too. I mean, I was understanding what he meant at the time, but he was like, I will kill myself if I had to deal with the things that you have to deal with in regard of the manipulation. Because they saw they saw the transition before August 19, 2019 to 2000, after August 19, 2019. And they were like looking at me, it's like, oh, I couldn't live like you. I couldn't live like that. Because they were seeing how nasty things were going into my brain. The pedophilia things, the nastiness at every second. And so it's clear, everybody know that I was being manipulated, and they were doing their best for me to accept these things. They forced me to get stimulations. They forced me to get a sensation and then make noise campaign and be like, oh my gosh, slamming all the doors, being loud. Try to make me subscribe to this thing. I was watching the video about the TI day, right? A bunch of women talking about how they're being tortured and tormented, right? As I'm watching that, they were making me imagine a child doing something sexual to me. It's so disturbing to try to distract me from what I was watching. These people are disgusting trash. They torture children sexually. On top of the psychological warfare where they manipulate you to experience these disturbing things and reaction and pedophilia type of torture, which are all things that the others have said. They torture children. They torture children sexually. This coward trash. And so, seeing that gave me strength, and I just thank God for these testimonials, because it helps us see these perps who try to vilify you for what they are. You see them truly for what they are. You see the trash that they are. There's no escaping. You truly see this trash. You're involved in this. You heard the suffocation of this child. You heard the sexual torture of this child. You now are aware that this trash in front of you, this perps, this contracted citizen, this contracted civilian is involved in this. And it's trying to counter that. And this is the trash to tell you, you're going to pay now. Involved in this. In whatever psyop you try they create to block that, I was like, this is what they involved. And then when you hear what they do to women, and you look, oh no, we are like, look at this. This is the women who are testifying us. There's a lot of testimonials that you can find about what women are going through, and a lot of it has sexual torture, right? And even a lot of them have called out. Not a lot of them, but women have called out. There's a bunch of females involved in this, and you hear this trash try to find ways to gaslight me or kind of disorient me, because you see this trash for what they are. And it's funny sometimes, like, oh, you missed. I was like, miss what? Everything's already out. What do you mean? You think I'm trying to reach your heart? No, I just don't want you to look at you and think that you're some fierce woman or you're a trash low life involved in this. That's all I want you to see. I don't want you to have this. I don't even care if you feel bad or not. I just don't want you to go into that deluded reality that you put together for you to cope with reality. No, you're going to see yourself for what you are. Feel bad, feel good, I don't care. But see yourself for what you truly are. I'm not going to let you escape, because I'm seeing you for what the trash that you are. I'm the nothing. Okay, I'd rather be this nothing than something that's involved in that. I will never let them escape. They were even manipulating. Well, there's a while ago they were manipulating a memory of just to try to mess with me. It's just crazy. There was this person. There was an accident a while ago, before August 19, 2019. That's when I knew something was going on. It felt like there was kind of theater of some sort. There was an accident, and I see a group of people. One of them had like a hijab, right? And at the time, just normal, just okay, what's happening here? It's kind of weird. Now they start giving me stimulation and sensation toward this person, because I don't know what she is. And they try to make me imagine I had a super crush with this Muslim woman who had a hijab. And they start making me imagine that Muslim woman I was with, or I wanted to be with, being this person, and start trying to create perceptions that equate to that woman I had like a huge crush on, and put this onto her. And because they were like both like Asian, Middle Eastern, try to create the same thing together. It's just as like we see with Mapped. It's like, you just make me think of this woman that I used to be like almost in love with, not in love, but I had a huge crush on. And then try to translate that, and that's that. They don't live on reality. They try to make you accept a false reality by manipulating you. And then you have childlike shits who are doing their job to try to counter reality, which it doesn't work. But it's so nasty. The sexual torture of this woman has said a lot. But they tell me how I'm going to be tortured, because they talk about how I'm going to be framed and all that, which I believe. These people, trash is trash. This, like, you got to understand what they're involved in. What they involved in makes it sure that they can be involved and do anything. So, I remember somebody, there was like, they were talking about, it's like, you should expect a snake to be a snake and bite you, right? Or a lion to attack, because that's or a bird to fly, right? Because they have wings. You should expect this trash to be trash. They do these foul things to people, and they're like, oh, we're gonna frame you. It's like, you're trash, do trashy things. But they try to camouflage as this is fierce, like it's brave. We dare. No, you didn't dare. You're a coward, low life, to do trashy things. You're a child like shit. That's your job. You can't even say certain names. You understand what you are, really. You are little nasty bottom feeders contracted by these governmental entities, this civilian shit, that try to minimize others when you are the trash yourself. You're the something. But it's okay, because I could have been you. And so for that, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for that. I don't want to be tortured. I don't want to be tortured. I don't want to be screaming in pain. I don't want to be raped and blinded and whatever. All these things. Of course, I don't want that. But I gotta say, for some reason, at least at this point, the thought of that happening to me is I'm kind of numb to this, just because of seeing what life is for them who do these things to people, for what they have to counter day in and day out, for how trashy and low lifeness these people, whatever comfortable life they're living, man, I don't want to trade places with them. I don't want to scream. I don't want to be in pain. But tell me, like, if me, my life as an able person having to dumb myself down, I don't care if there's a million people doing the same thing. This is just too far. And then I have to look at myself like I'm like this, like, no. Thank you, God. I didn't have to listen to be this trash. I am their trash in the sense that they are trashing me, but thank you, God, I'm not this trash. I have to give God thank you. I have to thank God for that. Now, it's funny, they were talking to me because they have this ability, well, they are restricted to say certain things. For some reason, they can say Roy Moore, right? Roy Moore was somebody who when he was in his mid-30s, was picking up kids as young as 14 years old, right? The reason why I say his name, the reason why this is a name I keep bringing up, is just specific to my targeting, in the sense that my employer put me in this program. My employer, my only real employer, because at this point they're just perps that employs me to kind of mess with me. My employer donated money to his campaign, even after the fact that these allegations came out. They were one of the few who openly continue donating money. And so, as they were trying to create this persona, because what's happening today is like they try to force me to create this perception, estimation toward children of all ages, from the babies to like the older kids to teenage kids, they do these things. I'm like, listen to the reality and listen to Roy Moore and and they can't even say his name. And that guy's not fair. It's like, it's fair. You know what makes it fair? Because I can say Roy Moore, you can't, and that brings me back to reality of what you guys are. That is the fairest. As you guys creating this, the way they say they're gonna frame me, they're gonna have their children, of course, trashy ways. They do trash is trash. They're gonna have one of their children have to say that I did something to them, and they're gonna create this kind of frame in that fashion, disturbing ways. Imagine a parent having helping that participating, but giving their children to involve themselves in that. So you understand, trashiness is another level. And so, as they try to mess with me, that's why they try to do something in my mouth. But they try to counter reality, because obviously nobody who loved their children for real would have the children involved in these ways. That's nasty. It's one thing to just make sure your child is shown, but it's another thing to just implicate your child in some kind of frame. It's nasty. But trash is trash. Thank you, God, that this is not something I had to do, or something that I did, even if it's not something they have to do, something that they are doing. So thank you, God, for that. But they do these things where they can't say Roy Moore. And they were telling me, try to have this debate in my brain. It's like, okay, would you say, because I'm like, I couldn't feel like living a life where I can't say Roy Moore. What disturbing life is that? I would have died and not be able to say his name. And then try to give me a scenario where, okay, well, what if you were living life normally, and they say if you say Roy Moore, you'll be in trouble. I was like, maybe in that case, but I couldn't do what you guys do. Try to be like, oh, it's you, we are children. Oh, it's so you. Oh, you're a pedophile. We are protecting. It's our world. And I say Roy Moore, turning red. Act like you're all so confident and powerful. And I say a name of an alleged pedophile. And you like, what happened? Well, I'm listening to somebody making fun of Roy Moore allegedly picking up kids as young as 14 for being banned from the YMCA. She's like, that's why. Can you imagine? Tell me if that's not some kind of God warning. That trash. Be understanding. You're nothing if you keep living that life. In every way possible, they've been humiliated by reality. And then you add on top of that the agencies that are running this program, which obviously running this program are filled with pedophiles. So come on. At what point do you like how much are you gonna dumb yourself down to block out reality? I know this thing is fun. They feel like gods. Gods, I can't say Roy Moore though. But how much humiliation? And for me, they're like, oh yeah, you're the pedophile, huh? Alleged pedophile. Trash, you're just gonna frame me. You're gonna do these nasty things. You're gonna force me to get stimulations toward children. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna manipulate me to experience disgusting things, pedophilia things. The babies, you're gonna make me have stimulations. You're gonna have to. That's what you do. And then you're gonna call being a war when in reality you just work for these pedophiles that have created a program with technology that is extremely sophisticated that gives you this godlike power. And then you're gonna make yourself retarded and make you believe that you will map things. No, you're manipulating me. And you're manipulating me in a way that is gonna break me down. So to all my target individual, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful. Whatever sufferings I'm gonna go through, God, please give me strength for that. But one thing is for sure, I will never want to trade places with this trash. Never. Thank you, God, for everything. That I'm not perfect, and I'm glad that even though I'm not perfect, I've seen how bad things can be in regard of like doing things that's this foul. I know I'm gonna suffer because these people have been humiliated by you, God. The humiliations are just pathetic. It's just so sad. But that's what they're supposed to do. I'm just glad I didn't have to do this. And, at one point I thought I was confident that I would never be involved in that. But I'm like, that. But the truth is, listen to who's involved. You see how many people are participating. If I was groomed into that world, would I be in that? If I was one of these 14-year-old kids involved in that, as an adult, would I still be in it? Because this trash are groomed in that. They live in that world. They're very young, involved, babies involved. So if I was one of these babies, in my 30s, I'll be like doing these things, having experience doing. Oh, that's why now I'm just thanking God, because I don't, that's something that I couldn't imagine. But me right now, if I was asked to be put in this program in that way, without being groomed in that, I would be, hell no, disgusting. And then try to force it, and I would never be able to film, look at myself in the mirror. I could never. But if I was raised around, if my friends were involved, if my family was in it, and would that happen? Thank God I never had even the option of that. Because the way they force us to think is just disturbing. Even now, they will try to make me accept these pedophilia things that they clearly do to people. So, target individual, stay strong, know yourself, do not subscribe to the manipulation. They are going to try to push you into accepting these pedophilia things. They're going to truly try their best to make you accept all manipulation they can. And they have no shame. Because they already sold their soul to these entities. So what can they have? What they can hold on to? So to all my target individuals, stay strong.